Crossmember time. What was that thing on it? Transmission crossmember time.
Yeah.
Got the motor in. Got the transmission at like a 3-degree angle. Depending on what side you look at, it's positive, negative, but it's on a 3-degree angle. It's clearing the bottom of the frame and everything. What we're gonna do, we're taking this 2x3. Scratch that. We're taking this 1x3. We're putting a link bar tab on it with a bushing so it can swivel on one side of the frame. Then we're going to mount it to the other side. I'm going to get underneath there and show y'all. Alright, so we're under the truck. That is the transmission crossmember bushing bracket that we're going to tie into. This is where the factory crossmember bolted to. We cut it off because it hangs below the frame anyway. So we're going to use the link bar. We're going to build some tabs right here. So this side connects like a link bar tab would, or like a link bar would, where it has one bolt. That way we can pivot it up. Then across on that side, where Youngster is working right now, he's actually making a template for the bracket that we're going to weld to the other side of the 1x3 tubing. That way it bolts with those 4 bolts right there. Then it's going to bolt into this bracket here. We're not going to build a tab off of the 1x3 to catch the transmission. We're actually going to put the 1x3 just right up against the bracket like this with the 3 bolts. There's 3 bolts. You can run 2, 1, 3, however configuration you want to. We're gonna try to run all 3 of them. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Oh, here's a little story for you kids right quick. If you decide, and I'm not against this, but if you decide to rail your truck, which means you decide to drag the frame on the truck, this is what potentially will happen. I don't know if you can tell.
Hole in the frame.
Yeah, so he's drug through this. Yeah. See that? That's a crack in the frame. Good old crack. What we will potentially do is we are going to take a piece of big ass angle iron and put it down the side of the frame. Weld her up, make it good as new. Confucius say, man who dragged frame will potentially have lots of work. Man who dragged gas tank will soon see the light. Here's our cross member. As you can see, that's the plate Youngster was doing a template for earlier. We'll just weld this cross member to that plate so it unbolts. Come here, we're gonna have to center that up, get our bolt holes so we can drill the holes to mount the actual transmission to the cross member. Over here, I have made me some templates for the tabs that's gonna weld on top of the frame right there. Super simple design. That way, if you gotta take this thing out, you unbolt it from the transmission, unbolt those bolts, and then the whole thing will swing down, pull that bolt, Bob's your uncle. That's how we gonna do it. Alright, so right here, this is the template I made for the tabs. We got them cut out of some 1/4 inch carbon steel, got them clamped together. Now I'm going to drill the holes and clean them up with a grinder. Sorry for the audio, our heater was very loud and it was very cold. Carport Customs, this is how we do it. No workbench needed. We just use the back of the truck. Right here we just marked out the center of the transmission crossmember where the transmission mount is going to bolt up to this crossmember. Right here, Youngster is just transferring the measurements for the mounting holes from the transmission mount to the transmission crossmember. This is really going to determine on which transmission mount you use what these measurements will be. This is what our transmission crossmember looks like, all mocked up after we built the tabs, drilled the holes in this tab, and we drilled the holes in the center for the mount and got the holes drilled in the frame to mount that plate. Now we're just checking for fitment, making sure everything is the way we want it. We cut a hole at the bottom to access the bolts. Now we're going to weld it up and we'll show you guys what it looks like. Ooh, we might make a welder out of Youngster after all. Anyway, this is our transmission crossmember all finished. We got the holes drilled in, got the plate welded on. We've got our link bar style in all finished and welded up. We got the tabs welded underneath the truck. So that's a custom transmission crossmember for a S10 with a 700R4 and small block. Y'all stay tuned for the next video, and always remember, like, subscribe, and comment.